think it's going. It is going, and we're back after. I think it's been like 2 months now, maybe more.
Oh
Who
yeah.
knows? I think it's been like 3 months. So,
3 months, yeah.
um, we've all collectively, and we just lost
Oh,
that. Amazing. Um,
That
but
was not sorry. I hit the button.
um, I will be handling the recap this time because it's been so long. I'm also only going to cover what happened last session, not what's been going on in the campaign so far, because, well, that'll take a long time. But last session, everyone. Where did the last session end? Let me check my notes to make sure I don't overlap too much.
Ended with shopping.
Yeah, I'm not gonna actually. I'm gonna skip the shopping. I'm gonna go one session before that because the shopping wasn't really that helpful.
It was fun.
You basically got back to Breach Hill. You went and you talked to the town council and relayed what you had found, what your suspicions were of Voz, your concerns about the army maybe or maybe not amassing very close to Breach Hill. Um, Sorry, 1 second. My computer is being. Come on. Give me 1 second. I've got to reload Foundry.
okay.
Okay, there we go. Well, it's going back in, but yeah, you were talking to Greta about everything that you discovered, and she was very concerned about, you know, the things that were happening and the danger that it posed to the town. She talked about beefing up security, albeit discreetly, and bringing the rest of the town council in. She wanted you guys to continue investigating, and when you told her about your suspicions of Oz, she gave you permission to go investigate the Reliant Book Company and see what you could find. You made your way over to the Reliant Book Company with one of the town guardsmen in tow to make sure you didn't do anything sus. You broke in and opened one of the doors, and Hal promptly got impaled by very sharp, pointy things.
Yet again.
Good times.
Yet again. And then you also, so in that room, well, I guess I'll cover all of the discoveries at once, but you investigated and looked around in that room, and then you went over to another room. This one was locked. You picked the lock, went in. Actually, no, you didn't pick the lock. You broke down the door, and went in. And between the two rooms, you discovered a couple things. One, you discovered that the history of Breach Hill is not exactly what you have been led to believe so far. Lamon Breachin is not really a hero, the savior of the town. It's more like he's the reason why the original townsfolk lost their memories in the first place. He was amassing people for some kind of experiment or endeavor, or you're not exactly sure what. And then when that didn't successfully pan out the way he wanted it to, he wiped everyone's memories. He then maybe took pity on them, or for other reasons decided to give them some basic survival skills before piecing out. Um, you also saw that Voz went to Guardian's Way. She discovered another entrance, maybe to the ring, from Guardian's Way, and that's where you suspect she is right now. You also had some notions that there might be a mercenary group camped out somewhere there called the Bloody Blades. Um, and there isn't too much information available about them other than that they're a very notorious group. Alec actually knew about them, and he mentioned that there were bounties out for all the members of the Bloody Blades. Um, Before you actually made your way to Greta and the town hall, you were very concerned about how you would manage to get Alec through the town without attracting attention, and there were some very, very clever decoys sent down the river. Um, Great moment. Great inspired moment. Um, and after that, yeah, it was just a shopping spree, and we ended the night in Wizard's Grace, where we heard a well, rather amazing tale. That, I'll leave it out of the recording. It's fine. We know what happened.
Mm.
But yeah, it's a new day, and when everyone wakes up, you make your way over to town hall, just as a meeting point before getting things going, and you notice that Levis isn't with you anymore. He just hasn't shown up this morning.
Any of you know where Levis went?
Maybe he's out looking at the stars, and Ted just hasn't come back.
It's morning.
Yeah, maybe got lost.
Maybe.
So you'd think someone who knows about the stars wouldn't get lost.
Should we look for it?
I think we should quickly check the Great Dream House. That's where he was staying.
Mm.
But then, if he doesn't show up, we have to get moving. I don't think we can look for long.
Yeah, he'll catch up with us, right? He always does.
Yeah.
Has he? Wait. Has he ever? We've never left him before, have we?
I can't remember.
What do you mean by left him before?
We ever
just
split
meant,
up?
He's like, he'll catch up. He does that.
He'll
Wanna see
bounce
if this-
back. Like, he bounced back from the birds clawing off his fingers. Like, it'll be fine.
Almost die from those birds.
Maybe he went to check on the birds.
Yeah, he probably went to look. You're right. He was probably out looking for that bird.
Bird.
Alright. Well, let's just get going then. Because we don't have much time to spare.
Bird. I don't know where we're going.
Going to Guardian's Way. Remember?
Oh, right.
In the Five King Mountains.
We know where that's
Yes.
Yes. So
We know where
Okay.
that's at because we asked the guard.
So,
right.
just recapping what the guard told you about Guardian's Way, it's this fortified area in the woods just northwest of Breach Hill, somewhere in between Breach Hill and Hell Knight Hill. The legend, I guess not really the legend, but the story of Guardian's Way is that during the Goblin Blood Wars, this is where the armies of Isgar held off a couple battalions of goblins. Rumor has it that 10 or 20 Isgar archers actually held back the bulk of the forces, and they did this by raining arrows down on the goblins from the treetop fortifications. What you gathered is that it's a very defensible position.
All right, so onward. We know where we're going.
Yeah.
Also, just a little bit of housekeeping before we actually make our way there. How many hero points does everyone have after the resets and everything?
I'm at 3.
I'm
Okay.
at 2, apparently.
I'm at 1. I think I should be. I think that's right though.
Okay, Sophie, you can give yourself another hero point.
Yeah.
So we're all starting at least 2. And do you have any questions for me? I know that was like a very quick recap, but does anyone have any questions for me about the revelations, about the mercenary group, about Voz? Anything you want to clear up before we leave town?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're good.
How many potions do I get? 14.
So you didn't ask Alec to join you on this, so he isn't here right now. You do know that he was spending the night in one of the guest rooms near the town hall. Greta did ask him to leave town as soon as he could, so you're not sure if he's still there now.
You think we should ask Alec to join us, or do you think he would like to fortify Hell Knight Hill? I think we should ask
Oh.
Alec.
I think we should ask Alec.
We should ask Alec.
Yeah.
Maybe,
We can ask one of the guards at the town hall, see if they've seen him.
You
He's
know
a
where
pretty
he's
imposing
sleeping.
figure.
Um,
We do?
thinking,
All right.
like,
yeah.
Then yeah,
you know,
let's just...
you kind of have a schoolgirl crush on him.
Schoolgirl
And then
crush. What?
He doesn't really like me.
I don't know what you're talking to. School. No, I respect him. It's...
Sophie,
Uh,
does he
no,
have a
it's-
crush on Alex?
yeah. It's it's kind of apparent. It's kind of like a. It's like if someone who like really likes someone but they act like they don't in public. I don't know if there's a term for that, but I think that's what he's doing.
I just respect him as a warrior. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Anyway, we should just go and see him. Make sure he hasn't left yet.
I was just gonna say maybe Sophie should do the talking.
Yeah, yeah. I can.
Yeah.
I don't like based on how he's seen us, in action.
All right, let's go.
He does.
over.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah,
Let's.
you make your way over to the guest houses.
Okay.
And one of the guards just points you to the room that Alec was staying in. It's actually not hard. It's the only occupied room in the building. Looks like there aren't a lot of guests, or at least, official guests at the moment. You knock on his door, and you hear a voice say, "Yeah."
Hey Alec. We were thinking about it going out. I actually, like, as a player, forgot where we go.
Guardian's
Guardian's
Way.
Way.
Guardian's
In the
Way.
Five Kings Mountains.
And to recap, that's where we think the guy is, and what is the guy's name?
Voz.
Vaz.
Okay. We were gonna go out to the Guardian's Way, and Voz, and we would really appreciate it if you came with us. It's a very important mission. It's for the safety of the town, and probably it would be a good idea if you came with us. I'd say.
Voz. Yeah, I have a bad feeling about Voz, and I do have questions for her.
Exactly. We can't even find Levis, so like we need an extra hand.
What happened to Levis?
Idea.
We're
He just
not sure. He kind of disappeared.
Well, I guess, everything that happened in Citadel Alterine must have been his first big adventure. Maybe he just realized he doesn't have a taste for it.
and that's fair. It's fair. A lot of
Wait.
people,
Is what you said Voz might be in Guardian's Way? Isn't that where the Bloody Blades might also be?
Yes.
Yes.
I definitely think I should come with you then. If the blades are there, I should be the one to take them into custody and take them back to Isger for trial.
That's exactly what we were thinking.
Sophie just like looks at Hal and like taps like Kago's on the shoulder, like yeah, and nods.
All of this
I was
is
like,
happening through the door, by the way. He hasn't opened the door yet.
So we were thinking about like leaving around nowish. If that's okay with you, that is.
Yeah, we're going now. like no rush or anything.
You know what? Why don't you just come on in? I think we should talk about this real quick.
All right. He's gonna open the door.
Yeah, you just see Alec sitting at a desk and he's writing something. Before any of you have a chance to see what he's writing, he kind of folds the paper and puts a book on top of it.
Okay.
You write a letter with that smudge the ink.
I'm not too concerned about that. I'm just writing up a report to send back to the Hell Knights.
All right. Is there more paper underneath the letter?
Oh.
Kagos, give me a perception. Blind perception.
Yeah.
You don't really notice anything. He kind of just slips it underneath the book. It's hard to tell if there's anything else there. He turns towards all of you and he says, "Look, I know the last few days you all have done some well, impressive's a strong word. You've managed to surprise me with how much you've been able to actually pull off. But the fact is, from what I've heard about Guardian's Way and what I've heard other soldiers here say about it, do you realize what you're getting into here? You're essentially assaulting a stronghold.
But I mean,
Well,
no one else.
We don't need
What
to
else in
assault
town?
it. We just need to get through it.
Just sneak in.
Have you considered the possibility that Voz and the Bloody Blades might have teamed up?
I think it's highly likely.
Yeah.
Most likely she has hired them, in fact.
Well, these mercenaries are notorious for a reason. They are highly accomplished. And like, even if it's not the entire mercenary group, even if it's a handful of them that are actually there, well, it won't be an easy fight. Like, even I would be a little scared to take them on head on.
Well, I mean, if it isn't us who's going, like who else is? Who else is gonna protect the town?
Well, I just want to make sure there's some strategy here and not walk through a door and hope for the best.
No, there's a whole tunnel system inside
Oh.
Guardian's Way. Right? Couldn't we find a smaller tunnel and sneak in that way? I'm sure there's not one entrance and one exit. That would make a very poor stronghold.
So the
wouldn't
stronghold
have-
is not the tunnel system. The stronghold is like a treehouse system.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, well, I mean,
We just need to get through. We just need to either go around or through it undetected. We could probably disguise ourselves
we
as
haven't.
one of them, perhaps.
Don't we have an invisibility potion, or is that a different game?
That was a
We do.
different one.
Hold it
Do?
up. Yeah.
It's just one, or
Just one.
okay. Well, we have an invisibility potion, so
Okay.
we could get a way to sneak in. We need to get to Voz mainly. We don't need to fight all of them.
We don't need to fight any of them, really.
We need to fight all of them.
And most of us are pretty light on our feet.
Alec just looks down at the armor that he's wearing, and he's like, "If you plan to stealth in, I might just have to hang back then. I don't see any way of. Look,
So we
I'm
give-
not the most stealthy person.
Could give you the invisibility potion if that would help.
Invisibility doesn't mute me.
Right, but it gates the negative effects.
Also, I need to look. Does invisibility like actually
Yeah.
protect your clothes?
That's what I was thinking.
I
Should,
think
right?
so. Kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, but logically speaking,
Really? Okay, there we go.
Gained the second level visibility spell. Detected to all creatures. Actually, doesn't say anything about like the clothing aspect of it. Just makes you undetected.
Yeah.
So I think it would actually, that logic, it would cover clothing. They can't see you at all.
Yeah, it'll apply to clothing. Otherwise, everyone has to strip naked all the time, and that's just a pain. Okay. I could. All right. I think, like, regardless, we should get there and scout a little bit, and then we'll come up with an actual plan once we know what we're dealing with.
yes, of course.
Let's head over there.
I'll meet you by Monument Circle in 30 minutes. Let me finish up my report and send it out.
Of course. Come on, let's go, guys. Don't
Yep.
stop bugging him. Let's go.
Okay, yeah, we weren't really bugging them, but
Yeah, you shuffle out of Alec's room, close the door behind you. So right now, all of you are basically like over here. So you're not that far from Monument Circle. What would you like to do for 30 minutes?
I think just sort of practice heroic poses for when Alec eventually walks out.
Just on the street outside.
Yeah. Just in Monument Circle, just
Okay. A couple of the kids who are walking by are going to like stop and stare at you. When you notice them, they giggle a little bit and just run away. A couple of the adults are just, they're not giving you the most approving looks.
my smile widens. And continue.
I would like to try to sneak away.
Okay.
No.
Um,
I say sneak. I don't know if they're going to stop me. I feel like Al and Sophie might, but
I mean, I guess I wouldn't be like, Sophie wouldn't expect it, so it would be like against passive perception if that exists.
it'll
here.
just be a perception check. Like you can roll stealth and Sophie rolled perception. Hal rolled perception with misfortune because you're not really paying attention.
Hmm.
This is all blind.
No, these can be public because they're all.
where
you're
the hell is the
contesting with each other.
proficiency? All right, there we go.
Oh, nice.
you-
Hal.
I rolled really high on both of those.
Yeah, Sophie doesn't seem to notice Kagos slipping away, but Hal, you do see him, like just leaving out the corner of your eye.
Kagos, where are you going? We have to wait. We're waiting here for Alec.
Yeah, there's
August is leaving?
there's this book I want to look at.
Oh,
What
you want to
book?
look at a book?
What book?
Yeah, what
Um,
book? And where?
Can you be there? Can you get there and back in 30 minutes? You know what? Sophie, go with him. Make sure he's.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
right
you
down
know,
the
I'll-
street.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you, Kagos.
Okay.
Sure you don't run into any trouble. Sophie goes with him.
I wanted to go back to Vaz's shop because in my to-do list there's a book.
There's a book in Vaz's shop. The
Yeah.
shop is closed down, right? Like currently.
Yep.
Also, it'll take
Okay,
you
you know
like
what?
20 minutes to get there.
Oh, it's 20 minutes away. Never mind
Far
then.
away.
When after we capture Vaz, we can go back to her shop, and then we can get whatever we want. That's our main goal right now.
Yeah. She just had this really cool book on potions. You know, there's
Yeah.
nobody there.
You want to get
She's
arrested
obviously a
again?
criminal, so
Yeah, but because she's a criminal doesn't mean you can steal from her. Or steal in general.
You know what, Kagos? If you feel like if you really hustled, you might be able to get there in 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
okay.
If
I
you
feel
get
like I
caught
can't
again, that's
hustle and sneak away from Sophie, so we'll just go back.
come back
Okay.
for it later. It can wait.
Um. So yeah, Hal
So
is
nothing.
So
Watch Hal do his poses.
I walk goes back. The square.
Hal, why don't you roll a performance check real quick?
All right. Performance.
That was better than I expected. So you're in the middle of a pose, and what kind of pose is this?
I think it is. Is there like a low wall that like runs around the edge of Monument Circle?
It's not really a wall. It's more like a knee-high kind of ledge that people just like to sit on.
Okay, yeah, I would have one foot on that, uh, sort of facing towards the river. Um, it would be my right foot, left hand on my chin. No, right hand on my chin, elbow resting on the bent leg, and then just sort of with a sort of forlorn look out over across the water. Just a distant look, distant gaze.
Okay, this is the pose that you have when Alec walks up to you guys. He doesn't really seem to pay attention to you, Hal. He's a little confused, but then immediately shifts focus to the group as a whole and says, "All right, let's get this over with." I just have a bad feeling about this, but we don't really have a choice, do we? There's no one else that can go.
It's up to us.
Everyone in Monument Circle is also staring at all of you now because, there's a Hell Knight with you. So,
Mm-hmm. All right, let's head out.
We're drawing a lot of attention.
Well, we're heroes. We should do that.
Exactly. This clear the name of the Hell Knights town, hopefully, if we succeed.
clear our
If you
name.
mean
Why
when.
would we need to clear our names?
You know, you guys don't exactly have the best PR.
PR?
Public relations, like how people see you.
Why would we need public relations? Our deeds speak for themselves.
Do they?
You don't want people to like you?
Like,
Like-
no. Respect, yes.
I mean,
Well, the thing is, there's one particular deed that sort of speaks more than the others, and that is sort of abandoning Citadel Altarine and this region as a whole.
Yeah. That
That-
kind of those.
These people don't really like because, left them mostly defenseless.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
I guess that's understandable, but at the same time, well, an organization like the Hell Knights needs patrons, and I mean, Rachel isn't exactly supporting us, so.
I'm not I'm not judging you for making that decision. I'm just saying that
Right,
this is
like-
what happened. Like that's what they're thinking. Not me. Not me. I would no. It's
Yeah.
It's just
Like,
saying
that-
everyone's staring at you because they don't like you.
Yeah, it's this next one, like. Wait, hey.
let's just walk. All right.
Let's go. Let's
I mean, they
just
also don't
forget
like
these
me,
people.
so that's okay.
Yeah, but you're a thief. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. All of you start to make your way towards the northern gate of Breach Hill. And 30 minutes later, you have left town. You are walking along a pretty familiar road. This is the road that you take towards Citadel Altarine. But like what Steve, the town guardsman, said, once you hit the forested area, I guess this would be a few miles north of town, you see a path curve westward. This is the path that you've been told to take, and you, well, set down that. What is the marching order? Or I guess I need to know who's navigating.
The best nature. Sophie.
I think Sophie would be navigating.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Sophie be navigating.
Okay. So when you get to the start of this new path, it's still pretty early in the morning. You left as soon as you could, so I'd say right now it's around 10 o'clock. And Sophie, the way we'll do this is I'll ask you for a roll every in time increments, basically. Like your roll will cover
Okay.
like maybe 30 minutes or so of navigation.
Okay.
Can I assist in navigation because I am also trained in nature and I have forest lore as well.
The lore would only help you if you're trying to find out information about something.
Okay.
Like, you can't really assist, though, because,
Okay.
yeah, like, Sophie's just basically collectively navigating for all of you.
All right.
Okay.
So, Sophie, why don't you give me a survival roll? Okay. Yeah, for the first part of this, the path is honestly pretty clear. You're able to follow it. The woods are getting a little thicker. And you're also walking away from the river. So as the noise of the rushing water dies down, you start to hear more of the birds and small animals in the trees around you. There isn't really much that stands out to you guys right now. It's just a lot of trees on a pretty well-worn path. So 30 minutes of this pass. And yeah, why don't you give me another survival check?
Survival. Ooh.
Wow. Yeah, the path is starting to get a little tougher to see now. People generally don't seem to come this far. You don't know why, but the surrounding grass is starting to reclaim this dirt path a little more, but that's still no problem for you. You're able to pick out exactly where you need to go. And actually, because it's a crit success, this roll works for actually an hour instead of 30 minutes.
Oh, sweet. Do I
why
get a
don't you-
sense of? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Do I get a sense of like how much further it is, or is that something I would know?
You don't. Because you don't really know where you're going. All you know is that you're supposed to head in this direction, and Guardian's Way would be somewhere there.
Okay.
You could roll nature though,
Sure.
and
okay.
how like you could. This is where you could roll nature lore also.
Okay. Should I or?
If you want. If you've been like looking around trying to learn stuff, then you can roll it. If you've just been doing anything else during this journey, then you wouldn't.
I feel like Hal would have been trying to get closer with Alex, so no.
Of course.
Okay. Sophie, as you're navigating and looking around, you see that although it's not super obvious at first, there are signs that a while ago a large group or party may have actually walked through this area. Um, there are like dead trees that, or there are, I guess, more dead trees than you would expect there to be. Um, there are also like these really deep grooves and cuts into these old trees that just don't look natural. It looks like it might have come about because of maybe weapons slashing through them, or big bulky machines or carts kind of rubbing up against the trees and just causing a significant amount of damage. Like, it's been long enough where all of these trees have healed over, but the signs of damage are still there.
Yeah, I point this out to everyone. And I go, look over here, like this old tree, like this, it's all these scars and look natural. It's like if something like came through here once. Sure how long ago, but like a while ago, I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably the blades.
Most likely. So I think we're heading the right way. And then I guess we just keep going.
Okay.
One word.
So one more survival check.
Okay.
Okay. So for the next like mile or so through the forest, you're able to still stick to the path. It's definitely gotten a lot more difficult. The overgrowth isn't helping. It's Even though it's like midday, you feel like things have gotten darker just because of the increased like tree canopy around you. You are very deep in the forest right now, but you still manage to stick to the path, and you can see right now, just maybe a few 100 feet in front of you, it looks like things are opening up a little bit. There might be some kind of meadow or relief or just an opening of some sort.
I see. Is like. Do I see anything in the opening currently, or I just kind of just know it's there?
You can just see that it gets brighter up ahead, and it looks like there are fewer trees.
Okay. I tell everyone like, it's just an opening in front of us, so we're gonna lose the cover of the trees. So it's a warning.
Should we proceed a little stealthily, scout it a little bit first?
I think that's a good idea.
Because this might be where it starts, right? Have we come far enough?
So, not too sure, but it seems like the right spot. Which one of us is the stealthiest?
I think it's me or Kagos.
Yeah.
I think Kagos is
Kagos.
trained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go on ahead and look at the opening?
Okay.
Just be careful. Don't let them see you.
I'm pretty good at this. I think I can do it. And I will sneak into the bushes, off to the side, and then sneak ahead. To try to pretend like I'm good at it.
You're
Yeah,
just doing
that's
this in
good.
front of
Okay.
everyone right now?
Yeah.
Like not
Yes.
even. Okay.
Like I just go off into the bushes to hide, and then actually go ahead.
I
Yeah,
mean, everyone
exactly.
sees you walk into the bushes, so it's not like you suddenly disappeared into thin air.
It's
Sneak
that way.
ahead.
It's that way.
um, but yeah, Kagos, you make your way towards the opening. Give me 1 second. And you're just hiding in the bushes? Okay, let me do this then.
Well, I don't really know the terrain around me, but yes, I'm hiding.
So you just make your way towards this opening, and um, even though the trees are dying down, there is still some overgrowth. And you kind of stick to the bushes and trees along the right side of the path. And you make your way, and this is what you see. So in front of you, you see 3 sturdy outposts that have been built into the trees, and there's a 4th building that sits towards the back of these buildings, or these tree houses. Um, Behind that building, there's a vine-covered rock cliff that rises about 50 feet to a barren bluff above. So the biggest structure is definitely the one that you see in the middle. This is a 2-tiered wooden platform that's 20 feet off the ground, and it's supported by the trunks of these massive trees. And it seems to be built around this tree in the middle. A pair of rope ladders drops down from the lower platform to the ground. And then there's another rope ladder that drops down from the higher platform to the middle platform. The branches of the central tree, they kind of droop down, and there are also like some vines coming down from it that obscure like what's happening in the middle of it. You don't really see anything on top of that. What else can you see from where you are? Yeah, you can also see the other 2 platforms off to the sides. They are, yeah, these right here. They're a lot smaller. Um, and they're also supported by trees. You can see the one on top kind of has like 4 tree pillars. And this platform is just in between all 4 of them. And then it's the same thing as the one on the bottom. You have these 2 massive trees and a platform running across between them. Rope ladders also drop down from these platforms to the ground. You don't really see anything on them right now.
No guards.
Why don't you roll a blind perception check? Okay. So, what you see. Also, could you roll stealth? I forgot to ask. Okay. Yeah, you're really quiet, moving around in these bushes. You spend about 10 minutes just sitting there and watching. And it takes a while for you to notice, but a few minutes in, you do see a figure emerge from this central canopy. Oh, I need to adjust. from where you are, it looks like it might be a maybe a orc or a half orc. You aren't. It's kind of hard to tell. Like perspective is tough because they're
Hmm.
really high up, right? But they're definitely orcish features. Um, and it looks like they're just scanning around, trying to see, just off in the different directions. Um, and after a few minutes, they kind of disappear back into the trees or back into the tree.
I will head back to the group. And sneak off whatever trail we were on so that I can sneak out of the bushes. The same bush that they saw me going.
Why don't you
For
roll
another
stealth? And I guess everyone else can just roll perception to see if you notice Kago sneaking up on you.
So I get like halfway and I'm just like, hi guys.
I sure hope you didn't say that or do that while you were
That
sneaking
was
up
pretty.
towards
No, I
the.
don't think they saw me. I mean, there was a
Okay.
guard. He it was like an orc. He came and looked and then he went back. So I don't think he saw me. No, nobody's. But
Hardware.
there's like three little guard towers. Well, one of them is really big and they're in trees. They're like tree houses, but guard towers.
Okay.
And then there's another house I didn't see in because it's surrounded by the guard towers. I only saw one guard.
Only
Just
one
Fine.
guard.
one guard.
I mean, there's probably more. I just saw one.
Okay.
Do you think these guards might be out on a patrol, perhaps?
We haven't seen signs of any other guards. Or would they be patrolling? You wouldn't
This
patrol.
area?
I mean, you
So-
hear any?
I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna look straight at Alec. I don't think we're gonna be able to sneak in.
What makes you say that?
Well, you don't look like the sneaking type, and I mean, there was a building. I assume we need to go in, but it was surrounded by guard towers, which I assume there are guards in the guard towers.
Hmm.
Do we know anything about the? Do we know about the volley blades? Called. Maybe we can pretend that we're, have a reason to be there.
Does Voz know that you're hunting her?
He does not. She would have no reason to believe that.
There's no way
Mm.
someone could have gotten word to her.
I feel like she packed up for good in town.
Met us like once, right? And that was it.
It seemed like it was for good to me.
Hmm.
Hmm. Yeah.
So I'm
like,
just saying that as a. Do I actually think that?
You don't know if she
We-
packed up for good, but then she had taken a lot of supplies. Like there were a lot of things missing from her shop that would indicate that she planned to be away for a while. Because there was like you guys spent a lot of time comparing her store inventory with
Okay.
what was there, so you noticed a lot of like things missing. That
Okay, so I didn't lie about that.
Yeah.
Would actually think that. Okay.
said these bloody blades are notorious, right, Alec?
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't leave just one guard.
I highly doubt that, especially if they've been hired by Voz, if that's what we suspect. Um, Honestly, if you saw the guard, they probably wanted to be seen.
He looked like he wanted to be seen. But okay.
Is there
Question.
another way we could get to the back of this clearing?
There's a cliff. I wanted to ask about the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, could you describe the cliff?
So you okay? The 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 outposts and the building were in this meadow like clearing in the middle of the forest. All around it was a very well yeah, it was like a very thick cover of trees. And then so it's very hard to tell what the cliff looks like behind the trees. All you could see is the part of the cliff that was exposed by the clearing. All you could see was a sheer rock face that goes up maybe 50 feet.
Okay.
It did curve to the left and to the right into the trees, but you don't really know what it looks like on either side.
Okay. There was a cliff. Maybe we could sneak up it and then come from behind.
Have any climbing gear with us?
We have rope.
You would just
How
rope?
tall was
We have
this
rope.
cliff
I have a
again?
grappling hook.
They're like 50 feet. I think I could come up with something. I have rope. I have really big nails. I mean, I could get up there. But that might be enough to make a climbing kit.
I mean, if you can get up there, then
I
you
don't
can.
know. That's a DM question.
You could probably use those nails as makeshift batons.
So I'm thinking I might be able to make a rough climbing kit with the stuff that I have.
Okay, I need to take a look at what stuff you have.
Didn't turn out to be useless.
I have a rope. I have a bunch of nails, large nails.
So this is a 50-foot bluff, right?
Yeah, I have a repair kit, which includes a portable anvil, whatever that is.
I feel like the
Maybe
nails
anvil?
may not be too useful. They're not really like climbing nails. They're more like, well, no, these are the large. Oh, yeah. Okay, large nails.
These were the ones we could get shot with.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the weird those things, yeah.
They're still more like finger length nails. You're not sure how good they would be as like climbing implements. Maybe if you double them up and like use two of them together. But then you get the sense that hammering nails into a rock face and climbing up, like even if you're stealthy, is going to make a fair amount of noise. You know, especially if you're
Sweet.
using gear. Climbing is a noisy
true.
thing.
Maybe we could
That's
cause a
true.
distraction to try pull away any reserves that they have.
I mean, I have both thunderstones and invisibility potions.
It's pretty good,
Well,
actually.
one. So I could throw a stone and then drink my invisibility potion, and they wouldn't know I was there, but they would come investigate it.
Yeah, you could go all the way out the other side, set off with
Or yeah,
yeah, and then just become invisible and then
and then
come
you
back.
guys come
here
from
we
the
are.
other side.
Alec, you know the most about these bloody blades. How likely do you think this tactic is to succeed?
It's actually a pretty sound tactic, dividing their attention especially if they're defending from multiple different points. Um, if we're all rushing at them from one spot, there's not much we can do, but it's just we don't know how many we're up against. That's like the one thing that's bugging me. It's like it's a good tactic if we're up against, a few, but then if each
Well, that's
platform has enough to still handle, the two people that are rushing at them.
here's the plan. I do this and I go invisible so they don't find me, and I just sneak away, just invisible.
Okay.
And you guys just see how many there are. Because surely, I mean, like at least half are going to come outside if there's a big loud noise and stuff happening. Even throw some lightning to make sure, or set something on fire.
All right, blow down.
Are you planning to actually make a move, or is this distraction just to try to lure them out?
It could be both. Like you could lure them out and see how many there are, and if there's not too many, we attack.
But what if
Well-
there are too many? What do we do?
Also, once you play your hand, once you let them know that you're there, they're going to be more on guard than they are now.
Ooh,
So it's like letting them setting off distraction charges is, well, you got to commit to attacking at that point.
yeah.
We attacking or are we just trying to get through?
It's kind of both, right?
If we just get through, then we're stuck inside. You don't want the enemy at your back.
Fair enough, but will they be willing to chase us into the tunnels?
I mean, could collapse a tunnel behind us.
Well, then we don't know our way out.
Or instead of the distraction thing, one of us can climb the cliff.
And that's gonna make a lot of noise, right?
No,
Well-
just climb it.
I have a grappling hook and
What
a
if-
rope. I can secure it at the top of the cliff and climb down.
What kind of creature did you see?
He was like, I don't know, is he humanoid? Maybe an orc?
Orc, huh? Humanoid. There's a good chance they wouldn't be able to see in the dark. Because orcs at best just see well when there's little light, but at night in perfect darkness, combine that with distraction charges.
We do have a dark vision elixir.
Do.
And you two can already see in the dark.
Yeah.
I thought-
Yeah.
Makes sense. We don't even need light.
I mean, if it's night though, which would be better, thunder or lightning?
Why not both?
Why not both?
Oh, that's a lot of potions. Okay.
I think you just play it by situation. Thunder would be more mysterious. They won't have an exact place to like pinpoint their attention on. But lightning is good for that reason. If you need them to focus on a spot, lightning gives them something to look at.
And there's always fire.
There is always fire.
Don't want to burn down this forest. But yes, use it as a last effort.
I was kind of also thinking maybe I could find a weak spot in the cliff and throw a thunderstone against that, and then there'd be like an avalanche, rock, a rock.
Maybe.
What is that called?
A
Oh, a
landslide.
rock
Rock slide. Okay, that's a different things.
But won't that close the entrance off as well?
No, not, but like just like on the other side of the camp from us, well, from you guys. So it's even more distracting. I'm gonna try it. If that's the plan.
Well, guess while we're waiting for it to get dark, you can observe the camp as well to see if you see any more guards or learn like what their schedules are.
Oh, that's a good plan.
I mean, you could also check the cliff face while you're doing that, I guess, if that's what you want to do.
This is a good plan, Alec.
Yeah, it
Kind of the
beats.
military expert. Okay.
It's better than just sitting around and not knowing what we're walking into. If you can get a count of their numbers, that would be immensely helpful.
I want to and sneak away. But like the terrible, just like slowly back up.
Like the Simpsons meme.
Why does he
It's
walk
not
so
even
slowly?
sneak.
He just
Okay.
he's
Like, we haven't
maintaining
heard-
eye contact through the entire thing. Why is he?
Just let him do it.
Yeah, watch.
Okay. So yeah, you go back to your spot
Good.
right there.
Okay.
Give me a stealth. Okay.
That's all right. It's not great.
1 second.
So spotted.
I just need to read one thing real quick. Okay, and why don't you give me also a blind perception while I am going through this. Okay. So how are you planning to do this? Are you just gonna like stay here the entire time until nightfall, or are you gonna like keep going back and forth between
Stay
your
there.
camp? Just stay here. So it's noon right now. Are you gonna stay here for 12 hours, or yeah, or maybe less than that? Maybe like 7 hours.
It's a long time. I don't know if Kagos has that attention span.
Mm-hmm.
What do I have in mind? Anything that can distract me. Yeah. Okay. So I got some chalk. So I'm gonna color some rocks while I'm also doing this.
Okay.
So that's a longer time for an attention span.
Yeah. Actually, because it seems very likely that Kagos would get distracted, right? I guess I'll leave it to you to play this out roll by roll, but we're gonna follow a similar thing to survival.
Okay.
You're gonna be rolling every hour or so to see if you've what you see and whether you attract their attention.
Okay.
So right now, for the first hour, you get the idea that you were still relatively quiet, sneaking in, And as you're watching, you see something very similar to what you saw the first time. After maybe like 15 minutes or so, someone walks out of the tree in the middle, looks around for a little bit, and then disappears back in. Um, why don't you roll stealth and perception again? Okay. Yeah, nothing really changed. You did stay hidden, but the same pattern. Someone comes out, looks around, and then goes back in. But because this is the second time you're seeing them, um, in a set amount of time, or I guess consecutively, you've kind of narrowed down how long they wait before stepping out, and it looks like it's almost exactly an hour. They come out every hour or so, look around, and then head back in.
Yeah.
Roll again.
I think August is getting pretty bored at this point.
This is 2 hours in.
Yeah.
Same thing. An hour later, this one person steps out and looks around. But there is something a little different this time. Because the sun is now getting lower, and the angle at which the light is hitting the tower, and because of this angle, you can see something metallic hanging off of one of the tree branches right about here. Now that it caught your attention, you actually notice for the first time this large bell hanging from one of the tree branches. You think it might be some kind of alarm bell.
Okay, so Kagus now has a plan. Also, I want to roleplay that 27 stealth. So I feel like Kagus started to get bored and was just taking mud and like hiding himself.
Digging in the mud.
Oh man.
Amazing. A mud ghillie suit.
Yeah, and then he's going to get up and leave at that point
Okay.
because I feel like he's bored.
So you did 3 rolls, so that's 12 to 1,
And
1
he-
to 2, 2 to 3.
Okay. I will go back to the group covered in mud. Just take.
Where did you find all that mud? It hasn't even rained recently.
Oh. It's wishful. I thought you'd notice. Anyways, so it looks like they do like a patrol every hour, on the hour. Well, I don't know if it's on the hour. I didn't have a clock. Just every hour, and then there's a bell that is definitely an alarm bell.
Oh, okay.
Thinking maybe. Mm,
How big is the bell? Do you think Nyx could steal it?
It would be very hard for Nyx to steal it without making a bunch of noise. Is the thing.
how big is the bell?
Oh yeah.
The bell looked like it was about the same size as the creature's head.
It's like person size. I don't think Nyx can carry it,
No, I don't think so either.
but I do have an invisibility potion and cotton balls. And you know how you keep a bell from ringing? You stuff it full of cotton.
Oh, you just
No,
cut out the ringer in the middle.
Yeah, that's what I would think. Okay, but no, cotton balls might work.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
cotton balls?
You have to like reach up and be real delicate with the cotton balls. You just stuff the cotton balls up in there.
You need a lot of cotton balls. You have to
And
fill up the
you
whole
also
ball.
need
A
to keep
bag
them
of
from
cotton
falling
balls.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just long enough that I can take it and be invisible and take the bell. Or somebody else
Yeah.
can.
That's
They
your
will
best
definitely
bet.
notice the missing bell. on their
No.
patrol.
Would
Mm,
have to find a way to render it silent. Maybe taking the ringer out is the best idea. They wouldn't notice it's gone until it's too late.
Do you think you could
Take the
actually
ringer?
reach the bell, though?
Well, somebody else can do it too. Also,
Sophie,
I
what's
don't know
your
if this is a
stealth?
good plan.
How are you planning to get up to the bell?
Oh, are the rope
Invisibility
ladders
person.
not let down?
They do,
Somebody's invisible.
but you said these are rope ladders, right? I feel like they would move the minute you start climbing them.
Wait. How smart is Nyx?
I,
For like
I,
bad intelligence.
I bring Nyx out, and then
Nyx could cause a minor distraction, and they wouldn't think too much of it because it's just Nyx, a bat.
Nyx could ring the bell
okay.
on the next patrol, and then they all
Then
come
that
out,
will
and then we
draw
know
them
how
out.
many there are.
We won't waste our. That won't waste our thunderstorm charges. It would just be a bat just flying into the bell. And
Yeah.
that
Just a
wouldn't
bat
think
flew
anything
into the
of it.
bell. That's super weird, but it's fine.
I mean, it is. Yeah. That looks like it could work.
And it is a forest after all.
It is, especially if it's dark.
So we wait till dark, wait till their patrol, and then Nyx rings the bell.
We'll. Okay, and then what?
And then we
That-
see how many there are.
Okay, and then we do that, and then after that we come up with a plan. Idea.
Why don't we have Nyx ring the bell right now? Kagos, you go back into your foxhole and count how many come out when Nyx rings the bell right in the next like 30 minutes.
Okay. I do think it should be during one of their patrols, so that you know it's
Why?
less suspicious that the bell's ringing if one of them's on patrol. 'Cause if none of them was on patrol, who's ringing the bell?
Well, they'll see Nyx.
Well, I was just yeah. Mm. I
I
mean,
don't know how organized everyone is. I don't know if they would know that no one's on patrol. No.
okay,
Like, if they
on
hear a
their
bell.
DM question, on their patrol,
Mm-hmm.
were they always facing the bell?
No, they weren't.
It
Like
doesn't
it.
matter if the
So
one
I
sees
guess I
that.
should clarify. It
Just,
wasn't
all
really
the others
like
will come out.
it wasn't really like a patrol. It's more like they just emerged from the trees. You couldn't really see what they were doing behind the vines and the branches, but every hour or so they would just emerge, look around. They weren't always looking at the bell. They would just like look in all directions and just sink back into the foliage.
Or would it be too obvious if we just set a fire out there and then like we weren't there? Would they
would-
ring the bell then?
They would probably
We
just
just want
think
the bell
it's
rung, right?
people. They would just think people are camping nearby. They might scout it out, but I don't think they would do anything.
Oh, okay. So Nyx rings the bell.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. I can trust you with handling Nyx, right? You can.
Yeah, we're friends.
Yeah,
He
she brings
eats
a.
the bugs from my bag.
Yeah, he loves bugs. He's a. Brings out Nyx's cage and then like. Tries to get him to, like. I don't know. She tries to get Cogos to pet him, I guess.
I will feed him some kind of bug from my bag, whatever's in there.
So, I have a
Um,
question. How do you get
yeah.
Nyx to do anything?
Um, like, I want to say it's like hand signals. It's like kind of like with the dog, like how you kind of like command words and like hand signals. So like um, you
But
want
for
Nyx to attack
something
someone. It's
as intricate as, go ring this one specific bell that's
yeah,
100 feet away.
that
Like,
is tough.
how would you tell your
Yeah,
bat to do that?
is
Overestimated the bat.
yeah. I Nyx. There's a chance Nyx doesn't even see it. Like wouldn't even be able to see it because the
There's also a
bat.
chance Nyx just flies away.
I mean, he's never flown away before. I'm gonna look if I have any magical control over Nyx.
If there's like a way you can give it a specific command, I'll like let it happen. But if you're kind of just
Okay.
relying on, hey, friendly bat, and then you point to the bell and tell it to go do something, it's a little more iffy.
Okay, let me. Okay, so I have animal companion. I throw out the text. Feet. Click it. Here. Base any simple commands to give it to the best of its abilities. The page. Cool.
Man.
Let me look up animal companion.
Because I'm just trying to figure out, like, it's not like you have some kind of
I
magical connection with this bat that
Yeah.
lets it know that
Oh.
you're referring to a bell or something.
Yeah. I either. It's not like I'm a druid. I just kind of.
Maybe you can just shoot the bell with one of your arrows to cause it to ring.
But then they'll see. Notice that that's an arrow, and they'll look in the direction where it was fired, right? Unless no one's there, then they'll see the arrow, and they'll know to look around.
Hmm.
I mean, I can shoot it with the sling, and then it's just a rock.
That's pretty far
ro-
for a sling.
Rock still would be something that can be thrown. Probably would look around for that.
Slings are like no distance, right? Which is not
Wait,
realistic.
I mean, it's also
how
not lateral
far?
distance, it's vertical distance.
Wait.
The first platform is about 20 feet off the ground, and the second platform is another 10 feet on top of that.
50-foot
Does
range
Mage
for a
Hand
sling.
have a distance?
Right?
I'm pretty sure it does.
That's Mage
I'm-
Hand, though.
I'm
You cast
looking
Mage
at it.
Hand?
I can.
Have the hand thing. The actual mage hand.
Yeah, I have the Mage's
Oh.
Hand.
Yeah.
I'm reading it. The detail says range 30 feet, but the description doesn't say anything about moving outside of that range.
That's
It's still the range. Like, you can't really go beyond a 30-foot range with the spell. It's like that's how far you can exert the influence of the spell. So if you try to move something beyond the 30-foot range, it'll just like your mage hand will collapse.
Oh, I see. Mage Hand, it's not creating an actual hand. It's creating a hand that grabs the object. I get it. Okay.
how high up was it?
30 feet off the ground. More like 32 or something. Whatever. This is 30 feet.
30 feet.
If I could get under it, it's a possibility, but
I mean, we could
Keep
wait till
using-
night.
then that's our surprise attack. anyway.
Use the invisibility potion, I guess, but then we use the invisibility potion.
You might have to use the invisibility potion after you use the hand.
Hmm.
So you would have to sneak up.
Right.
Because usually, I haven't been invisible, but I believe what would happen is if you did something, you're no longer invisible.
Yeah, it messes up the spell, I think. I don't know how magic works, but like cancels it out, I
It
guess.
seems right to me.
Yeah, I think that's right.
From your
Taking a
rudimentary
lot of look at
understanding
these
of
there.
invisibility, you do have an idea of how invisibility works. It's more based on intention. As long as you're trying to stay stealthy and stay hidden, you will be invisible. It's not like you're actually turning invisible, but it's more like people don't notice that you're there.
All right. Well, I'm not trained in any kind of magic, so
Yeah, I thought.
I'm going with what I said.
Okay.
I mean, you
Hal
could think of it
has-
like that.
Hal has some training in Arcana, so can I use that to supplement
Roll Arcana.
that knowledge?
Sure, you know how invisibility works.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can use the potion, get up to the tree, ring the bell, and get back. Still invisible.
Is that how we want to use the potion? Because after we use it, it's gone.
We could
Let me check something.
ring the bell to get them out there, then cause our distraction and just sow chaos.
Mm,
Yeah, that's a possibility.
we just need to find out how many are there somehow. So we either ring the bell or I throw thunder or light something on fire.
We'll use too many resources, I feel, if we use our big distraction.
With the invisibility or the thunderstone? Because I got a couple of them.
Do you think you could sneak away without the invisibility?
Yeah, I mean, I can throw the stone like away from me. So yeah. I mean, it's just a rock, like covered in paste. Pretty easy to throw.
You know, maybe actually. I could use the mage hand and just drop the thunderstone onto the platform.
We double check how thunderstone works.
Would that... Is the bell to ring?
I knew it would blow everyone who's on the platform off.
Well, they're not that strong, but yeah, that would work.
How does a
Yeah.
thunderstorm work?
Does it?
It when it hits a creature or hard surface.
Hmm.
Within 10 feet of the space of the stone, fortitude save would be deafened until the end of its turn.
It does
I
not
could.
blow things away.
Okay.
It's not force. It's just noise.
I could
Cog-
just hit it against. I could just drop it onto the bell as well to make it louder.
Wouldn't the vibrations... I don't know anything about sound, actually. Never mind.
So,
Mm.
just just so I'm understanding this, we're trying to sneak past them or get an idea of how many. Like, what's the game plan here? What are we trying to do?
I think we're trying to essentially take the fort.
I thought we wanted to know how many there are.
What I thought too. I thought we were gonna ring the bell somehow, get everyone out, then have
I
them
wanted
realize it was
a false alarm so we find out how many
yes,
there are without them knowing we're here,
and then we'll do
which
an
was ring the
actual
bell.
distraction. Right.
Seems pretty
Feel like-
risky.
I feel like if we attempt to find out how many there are, it uses the resources that we would then need to either sneak past them or fight them.
And it's not like we're all going to sneak past with one invisibility potion.
This is a mercenary group, right? Do you think any traders or suppliers come out this way? How uncommon would that be?
As you were walking through the forest, you did notice that the path you were following got less and less obvious and less used. The further you
Probably-
got into the forest.
Because-
That'd be very uncommon.
We do have these magic scrolls.
Could be, I don't know, some lot. You could pretend to be a lost salesman. You just
I could
Off the-
pretend to be a merchant.
could, right? And you didn't know where you were going exactly. You ended up there.
Mhm.
Maybe. And then what would you do?
It would be a distraction. I'm just brainstorming different ways that we could distract them.
Mm,
Wouldn't get everyone outside. You still wouldn't know how many people there are.
That is true.
From my approaching the bluff, do I have an idea of how big this bluff is? Is it like a little one? Is it like a mountain size?
It's mountain size.
Uh,
So like if you go to the other side and climb, the noise wouldn't carry.
You aren't sure where the other side is. It's massive. Like, you're at the foothills of the Five Kings Mountains right now. It could very well be a mountain for all you know. Or a mountain system.
Why don't we just climb the cliff and then we have the high ground?
okay, and then what do you do afterwards?
And then, like, even if we, I don't know, inadvertently draw their attention, we have the high ground.
What if they notice us as we're climbing the cliff? Then
It's really big. We just go far away.
I feel like we would have to wait until it's dark out. And we only have one dark vision potion for both Alec and I.
If you're trying to sneak, I think it's better if I stay behind. If you're going to assault the, well, tree houses, I'll join you, but I'll be upfront with you right now. If I try to sneak in with you, I will almost certainly give you away. Because I am not taking my armor off.
Do you want to be the distraction?
I don't have a death wish.
Damn it.
Like, if I'm willing to go ask them what they're doing, but if combat breaks out, I will probably just retreat. I won't stand there and fight.
Maybe a good idea. If just
Or-
one person just like walks up to him I mean, that's not much of a threat.
But Alec is a Death Knight. Or Hell Knight.
Yeah, he could just be like, I'm patrolling the area and I saw this. Do Hell Knights
They would.
patrol
They would.
areas?
I would be surprised if they didn't know we're hunting them. Hell Knights are kept appraised of all open bounties in the area. They would know
Okay.
that I recognize them.
What about a lone goblin covered in mud?
I mean, there are goblins around the area, yeah.
I can't.
Could be.
I mean, You aren't the most threatening creature. You look like you could be stomped out pretty
Exactly.
easily. So
Mhm.
Yeah, so maybe they just turn me away. But I get more information. Or am a distraction.
Okay. 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 And then
but this is all gonna happen in the middle of the night.
Maybe like late dusk. I'm like a goblin who went hunting and I'm lost. It's a plan.
be like
Is that a terrible plan?
Just not
The
sure what it
worst.
accomplishes because
yeah.
there's
Not
one
gonna-
person. One person would come out to deal with you. They wouldn't need anything else.
Oh, that's true. It wouldn't be everybody.
Maybe you
Should
can
we just attack them?
I feel like that wouldn't work.
I feel like the surprise attack with the Thunderstone at the top is the best opportunity to attack them in the middle of the night.
I like that. If it's
It's probably the best option that we have. Maybe like split people up, go in like parties of 2 to either side. Keep their attention divided.
You guys at throwing things.
uh
It's not like my potions are like special, I don't think. Hold on. Let me read how this actually works.
you attach it to an arrow.
Throw the balance off.
Yeah,
You
but
have to have
I mean,
specially made arrows to do that.
that's true.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how the
Oh, sorry. What were you trying to do?
figure out if the alchemy things have like a special thing you have to actually do with them. Or if other people can just throw them.
I think other people can throw them because once you've made your alchemical whatever, like dumped it in a vial, it's not inherently magical, right?
No. Well, I was thinking we could like synchronize attack.
So I sneak up underneath the tree with the invisibility potion and the Thunderstone. Mage hand the Thunderstone to the top and drop it. And
And
that would be the signal for everyone to start attacking.
I just
yeah,
figured
I guess.
if we're just attacking, why don't we all just go up and then hit them all at once? With
Because we
ranged
want to
stuff.
catch them off guard.
But we sneak up.
sneak up. And they usually only send one guard anyway, right? We can just take that one guard out before they ring the bell, and then is that your plan?
Well, my attacks aren't really quiet.
Maybe I could climb the rope ladder at night while invisible, and they won't see it moving.
Then you don't even need to kill the guard. You can just subdue him. Sure, he doesn't ring the bell.
That's actually a good idea. Do you have any way to incapacitate them if you can get the jump on them?
I have rope
Have a
and the unarmed attack.
Have a sleep arrow,
I
actually. I can give you a sleep arrow,
have-
and you just stab him.
I
You could also
yeah.
code it in poison damage, but I don't know if that really helps.
Oh.
I mean, it might kill him, but
Do you think you'd be able to shoot a sleep arrow at them when they emerge during one of their lookout sessions?
Actually, but I mean, if I miss, that's the thing.
and we can
I
also
could
poison it.
I could sneak up,
Hmm.
invisible, climb both of the ladders, cut the ringer. And then begin our assault.
Seems like a good as plan as any.
Yeah.
I will need a dagger though, if any of you have one.
I have a dagger.
I'll need to borrow it to
No,
cut
I have
the-
a sickle. I do not have a dagger.
Okay, I have a dagger here. You can use mine.
Yeah, I'll
Wait,
need
you're
to
just trying to
borrow
cut
that.
this.
If I
the-
cut the ringer off the bell, then they won't have any way to signal the other tree houses.
Oh, I mean, I got all kinds of tools.
Yeah.
I just need something to cut the ringer out of the bell.
Well, you have to make sure that
okay.
the guard doesn't see you and then climb back into
I'll be
the
invisible.
building.
I'll be invisible
if-
and have dark vision.
I mean, he can still notice you, but yeah, okay. Yeah.
So I have a repair kit, thieves' tools, alchemy tools. So I figure some of those have like alchemy tools probably have scissors or the
Scissors,
repair
yeah.
kit.
Yeah, you can get scissors from somewhere.
All right,
Something sharp. I definitely have something sharp.
something sharp enough to cut it. Got it.
Mhm.
And once you do that, you signal us.
How would I signal you guys?
Would we set their treehouse on fire?
Oh.
No, I'm serious. What are they going to do?
Well, actually, if we just remove the ringer, we can just sneak past them at that point.
Okay.
If we
Visibility
get caught-
potion, ringer, sneak past.
I'm gonna give you a sleep arrow just in case.
All right.
I hand him a sleep arrow.
Should I poison it?
No.
Oh, that will wake them up. I think. I'm just throwing your inventory.
I don't know how it works.
Honestly, I don't
Is
even
that
know.
a serious question? Why don't you roll
I just wanted to
crafting for
poison.
me?
So we're mixing a magical effect with poison, is what we're doing.
Well, roll crafting real quick.
Oh,
You think
Wow.
it might work?
I have two different kinds of poison. Let me check. mean, this one like paralyzes you.
But we already
Seems like-
have the sleep arrow.
I
Okay.
feel no. This one was manufactured, by experts.
Okay.
Oh wait, you got a 13. I read that wrong. Now with a 13, you think that the effect of the poison would cancel out the effect of the sleep.
Oh,
Okay. Never mind. Won't work. You're
Right.
right. They'll just wake up from the pain.
exactly.
Okay.
Oh,
Wait, how does
Okay,
a
is any-
sleep arrow work? Wouldn't that like, you put an arrow in somebody that hurts a lot?
Yeah, but it doesn't actually it doesn't hurt them. The arrow is designed not to deliver pain, just delivers the magical effect.
I could actually use the doubling rings with the sleep arrow. Could I?
Really?
That's a
They're
question.
double. They're just for. Mm,
I'm gonna read the sleep arrow description.
Could I wield the sleep arrow as an improvised weapon?
Yes,
Was it-
you could.
Then I could dual wield the rapier and the sleep arrow to give
Oh.
it +1.
Brilliant.
Nice. All right. This is our plan.
Okay,
I will.
I like it. I like.
I like this plan. I will give you an invisibility potion.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So,
So I have scissors, the invisibility potion, and the sleep arrow.
so the plan is take out the guard, cut the alarm, and then everyone sneaks past.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna hang back here for a couple of reasons. One, I'm not gonna be sneaky, and two, if things go awful, I'll just make sure people know that you're not coming back.
What? That's better than nothing.
Well, at the very least, thank you for your wise counsel.
Will you at least be within hearing range if fighting happens
Yeah, I'll hang
for
out
this
by
first
the.
part?
I'll try to get as close as I can without tipping them off.
Okay, just for this first part. If fighting happens, I will definitely throw a thunderstone. You'll hear it. Or lightning, you'll see it.
Yeah, that'll be the
Okay.
things go wrong.
If I
Might also set a treehouse on fire. Seems like a good plan.
All right. So I guess we just wait for darkness now.
Yep.
And I'll say it's taken you guys an hour to come up with this plan. You've been sitting around, and it really has
Fair
taken an hour
enough.
to come up with this plan.
It really
So
It did.
Okay, so you wait for darkness to descend, and so it'd been in another 4 hours, the sun has pretty much set. There's like the faintest bit of twilight still pushing through the trees, but for all intents and purposes, it is now night. And we will see how this assault goes next time.
All right.
Yeah.